What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, season 11, season 10, episode 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. All right. So we're still in Dubai. It is the day before the wedding, the vow renewal, and everybody is starting to come in town. And yes, Infinity is there. Yandy said that they are working on building their relationship, and there's no way that they can move forward if she excludes her from such an important event. So not only is Infinity there, but Infinity is in the wedding, right? I think that was the right decision. If you want to continue to build a relationship with this young lady, I think that was the right decision. We see Sierra with her man, and they trying to make a baby. Listen, I already said how I feel about that whole situation last week. Whatever. If you like it, I love it. But let me tell you what I don't love. I am hating this whole hair situation that Sierra is doing. Is this a bet? Is this a joke? Is this a prank? Why are you wearing your hair in the pins? You know when you get your hair pin curl and you keep the pins in and you keep the clips in until you're ready for your hair to be out? It's like she's doing it, and she's been doing that since, I think I mentioned it in the very first episode. Like, that's how she showed up over to BK's business. And I'm like, is that a new trend? Is that like the bonnet thing that we just not gonna do our hair? Our hair gonna be done, but it's not gonna be done. Like, is that what we doing? Anyway, um, Carly, Kirk, Rashida, Yandy, and her crew, they go out onto the sand and ride along the sand and made everybody sick. Yada yada yada. So the night before the wedding, Yandy is hosting. Well, no, this is not the wedding. This is not the night before the wedding. This is the night before the night before. Yandy is hosting like a whole little situation, Arabian Nights type situation dinner. She's got the belly dancing and the henna artist and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Yandy is the conversation is about Judy showing up. Now Judy is gonna be there, and Judy had gotten in town, and Mama D let Judy know what was said, and Judy was like, why would you tell them that? Mama D's like, because you said it. She was like, but I was talking to you. Like, I didn't ask you to repeat it. But let's be clear. You was Billy Badass on the phone. First of all, you was Billy Badass on the phone. And you invited Mama D. I know you didn't think Mama D wasn't going to stir up no trouble. Like, that is what she does. But Judy, and so Judy Mendice's Mama D, Yandy get into this whole situation where, of course, they're like, listen, girl, you can't, like, if this is how it's going to be, well, let me rewind. Yandy and Carly have a conversation, and Yandy tells Carly, listen, girl, I know what it's like. You was a single mother. I'm a single mother. It was hard. I give you all the credit in the world. Then they start talking about the situation about why her and Mendices ain't never filed their paperwork. Listen, we get it. I ain't judging you. And Carly said, I wish I had thought about that before I married Mo, because once he went to jail, baby, all kinds of lawsuits have been coming with my name on it, because we're legally married. I said, ooh, you better get you a good old annulment, honey. You better try to get you an annulment. Anyway, but then, like I said, but now let's get back to the Judy situation. And so Judy is turning on the waterworks, right? Here go Mendices. What you doing? There's no tears. There's no tears coming. She said, but I'm upset. He was like, oh, okay, you upset because you're not crying. And so the producer's going to ask Judy, were her tears fake? She said, yeah, they were fake. Because I knew Yandy was getting ready to start crying. So I was trying to beat Yandy to the tears. Because I knew once Yandy started crying, that was going to be it. I said, you know what? I'm not doing this with Judy Mendices or Yandy's crazy tale, okay? So then, basically Mendices tells her, listen, if you're not here for the right reasons and you're not here, for us, then I don't know what to tell you. Then you can go ahead and go, like, you don't have to be here. I'm not going to be, stressed out. Excuse me, this is a happy occasion. You're supposed to be happy for us, and I just can't do this. I'm just not happy. And of course, Judy's upset. She blaming Mama D. Like I said, she blaming Mama D. So Judy ends up leaving. And You know, Mendices is like, listen, because Yandy's like, what you gonna do about your mama? Like, what are we doing? And he said, well, listen, she just don't have to come. Like, I don't know. We just can uninvite her. Like, at this point, she don't know where the ceremony is. She know what's going on, but she don't know where the ceremony is. And I'm thinking to myself, now that would be messed up. Like, I would rather y'all have uninvited her from the event. I mean, from Dubai. Which, I mean, of course, I know they couldn't do that because by the time they found out what she was doing, she was already on her way. But don't bring her all the way halfway across the world and then don't let her come. Like, girl, that's crazy. Carly and Sierra have a conversation about Sierra wanting to have a baby, and Carly was like, yeah, because a couple of years ago you wasn't happy if you to be pregnant. She was like, because that's because I was dealing with BK, and I know BK won't about nothing, and I knew it wasn't going to be a good situation, so no, I wasn't ready for him to come. I mean, wasn't ready to have no baby. So then they get to talking about her and her daughter, and Sierra tells Carly the same thing I said, which I'm sure everybody said, which I'm sure Carly knows, but it's always harder when it's you. It's easy to take the advice. It's always harder when you have to take your own advice. But basically, like, listen, you can express how you feel about this guy, that you don't like him, but don't make it a big thing, because once you make it a big thing, then you're going to push her further into his arms and further away from you. Just say your piece, sit back, and when it don't work out, she'll come back around and say, you know, mama, I made a mistake, I'm sorry, you know, he won't, you know, I'm sorry, y'all. So then we have Mama D and Judy talking about the situation. And Judy basically is confronting Mama D and was like, listen, what I said to you. You ain't have to repeat that to nobody. You could have said that between the two of us, and that was it. And Mama D was like, but girl, I'm not going to do that. Like, I said what I said. I felt how I felt. It was what it was. Like, girl, you said it. And she said, well, listen, all I'm going to say is you causing problems between me and my son. What I said was between us. So you just don't need to come to the wedding. Mama D was like, okay. And then she gonna say in her confessional, you can't uninvite me, the queen, to the wedding. I'm gonna be there. And I'm thinking to myself, she ain't lying about that. She probably is gonna be there before Judy is. Like, if Mendici decide to put his foot down, Mama D will still be at that wedding, and you won't, Miss Judy. So these little threats that you giving out, no ma'am, like, they not. I was cracking up. I was like, girl. So then that night, it's Gemini season. Rashida and Sierra are both Geminis. Their birthday are a day apart. So they're having like a little joint birthday party for the two ladies. And we see Kurt give Rashida all this bling, 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 bling. So then Sierra's boyfriend has to kind of, meet the situation. And he give her some Chanel and stuff, child. And she looked real upset because I think she thought he was going to propose, because he gave this whole build up and was like, and I got something to ask you. And of course they built it up for the purposes of the, I'm sure for drama, but ultimately he ain't asked her to marry him, but he did give her a Chanel bag and some Chanel shoes. Okay. Like, I would have been excited, but I'm sure she got 20 Chanel bags in her closet. You know what I mean? I'm sure she was like, but like I said before, at a certain point, what do you give the person that has everything? Like, I don't know. So later on that night, we see Mendices and Yandy trying to figure out what they're going to do about his mama situation. And Mendices was like, she don't have to come. Like, it is what it is. She ain't got to come. But ultimately, Jonathan, who was there from, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and K. Michelle, he was like, listen, me and my mom have never had the best relationship, but every time I had a milestone event in my life, I did invite her. He said, even though we weren't in the best place, but now I look back and I'm glad that I invited her, because now that we're in a better place and we're in a good place, I'm glad that I can look back at those pictures and see that she was there. And I'm glad that I made that decision. And so, Mendices, I think he heard it, but in the moment he was like, I don't know about that. But, it was a valid point. And like I said, hell, she here. Like, it ain't like y'all in New York and it's a church down the street. Y'all done flew her ass all the way. Y'all might as well let her come. So the next day, it is the day of the event. And Mendices said, listen, I bought her a dress. I sent it to her. If she comes, she comes. If she doesn't, she doesn't. But I did give her the information. So I was like, cool. I think, she'll come. We see Carly and her daughter doing their makeup, and they're talking about things. And Carly said, listen, you said you wanted to spend more time with me. This was supposed to be my attempt at trying to do that, and you end up bringing your boyfriend. And so, yes, I don't like him, but I'm also more disturbed by the fact that I thought this was going to be me and you time. Like, we can do something later with the three of us, which I give Carly credit because she ain't feeling him and she ain't got no interest in doing nothing with this boy. But in the meantime, she was like, listen, we can do something later, but this was really supposed to be our time. And that's another part of the reason why I'm really upset, Then we see everybody getting ready and they talking about love, yada yada yada, and they do the vow renewal, and it's beautiful. Yandy looked beautiful. Her dress was beautiful. Everybody looked nice. It looked like it was a beautiful event. Okay, now back in Atlanta, Erica Mena is in the hospital, premature labor. Safari nowhere to be found. Bam is helping her watch. She's got the baby while Erica's in the hospital. Erica's like, listen, never in a million years would I would think that I would be married but still be going through something like this by myself. So here I am in the hospital alone. Don't know where my husband is. That's what the episode is. That's all I got. Look, I can't give y'all no more. That's all they gave me. That's all I can give y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.